Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4 with Third Reich events, the preview version. Okay, glad you're all here, however many of you there are. I'm recording this maybe basically a day after, though I have not yet gone to sleep. So it's sort of, to me, still the first day that the very first version of Black Ice for Hearts of Iron 4 is out. I've downloaded it, take just a quick little look at it, started up, ran through the buttons and things, didn't play any time on it, but looks like it's going to be great. It's much better than standard now. I wouldn't call it great yet, just because, Black Ice is never completed, but it still needs a lot of work. But I understand it's very playable, very good, and I'm going to get to it. And again, there's a difference between very good and great. I think it will become great. I'm saying it's very good now. I love it. It's wonderful. Also, an announcement. I've got the first sub mod out for Black Ice. It's Tanganyika for Black Ice, as opposed to the standard version. It just basically is a compatible version. It doesn't take yet, and it's a yet thing, advantage of some of the improved features like light infantry or whatever that I will in time tailor that version of the mod for it more, but it's right now very playable, very good, works well. So now I've been doing a lot of work since I last made any recordings on TRE. I'm at over 200 events now. I want to thank George 1920, or not just George 22. He been very, very helpful on the playtesting front, but he also gave me a really good event chain, all written out, a lot of good images for me to put together images on, so it was really easy for me to code it up. So that got in there. So he's now a contributor yet to be credited, but I'm giving him credit now, but will in the future as well. I debated whether to stay with that old version or go with the new version that we have here. What I did do is turn it on and let it run for a day, and a bunch of events popped up that stuff that should have happened in 1936 or something, and so I just cleared all those out of the way, and so things are a couple of days. You may notice, if you look carefully, there's been a few changes up here just because some of those events were costing political power and things. A lot of the stuff, and let's just see here, I may have to go in and tweak things. Yeah, I may have to kill that, and though this should go away. Still, if you notice here, that has the nice thing here. I still haven't done the sort of descriptors for when you roll over the icons there. This one is basically the same thing as you had going for the occupation of... I'm just going to leave it there and play and see if this one goes away, which it should here. For when you were working up your war goal to get Sudetenland, this is for Austria. It should just go away when you do the Annex Austria thing, but we've already done it in the events fired out of order. So this one here is you can sort of see it's sort of Hitler and Mussolini. Little silver pin. It's sort of small with all these things here, but is you get that, which is also a negative 6%. When you start down the road and form the Rome-Berlin Axis, back in '36 that they did. then, and there's, you can read about it here. And now, so if you take the path, and you would have a double choice, sign the Rome-Berlin axis, or you say you have other plans. If you go down that path, you will get this event coming up here, as well as there's some intermediate stuff too. But you will get this event coming up here. And so earlier you made the choice to go down the path of getting Italy into the Axis. So at this point, you have no choice. You sort of like, you're going to, other than the, shall we say, really sort of cynical treaties that, now you could maybe say this was, but I wouldn't say it was. That's why I don't, once you start down the path. But, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact really, in real life, wasn't going to mean that Nazis and commies were going to be best of buddies. But the fascists and the Nazis were. So you don't get the path. Notice it says remove national spirit, the Marco whatever guy there, just because I haven't done that part of it yet. You click here, and then what it does is it fires an event for Italy. Now, I expanded this over what? Oh, also, this happens if the conditions are met on the historical date. If you decide not to go down that path, and you still influence through the game mechanics to get Italy into your faction, the event will fire as well. There's a different version of it, will fire just as a bit more of a notification, but you also get some bonuses from it. So if you get it in, so it can happen if you do through game mechanic get them to be in your faction earlier. This will happen earlier. If you go the different path, but you still get them in your faction, and it could happen later. So it's a very flexible, and I've tried to code it that way. But so at this point is it asks the Italian player, do you want to join? Do you want to sign the Pact of Steel, which will bring you into the Germany's faction. It is coded currently so that the AI always says yes, but a human player, and I did this for several of the countries here, that if there's a human player playing as Italy, so if you have TRE installed and you're playing as Italy, but you decide to go down a different path, you can say no. If you're playing co-op, or I guess theoretically, even if you're planning on fighting each other between Germany and Italy, or you get mad at each other halfway through the game or something, the Italian player has a chance to say no. And similarly, there will be the tripartite pact set up for Japan. The Japanese player can say no. Now, again, you can decide not to go down the path with Japan if you think it's going to, Japan's going to get invaded by China or something, and you don't want to be tied to it. You can decide earlier on to not go down the road that gets Japan into the Axis, and again, that has the options, but the AI will always go. So we will go this. So now that you've bounced through that, it's removed the first national spirit thing that was costing you, and then you get it. So now you have Italy in there, and now you have the again, I have to code that part up, but I wanted to make a few videos getting ready for next week. You now have the Pact of Steel bonuses, which is research time reduced by 3% and resource gain efficiency by 5%. Now, I'm trying to be very realistic, but also I'm trying to not have one of these big mods make Germany uber, and then the Allies get weak by giving Germany lots of big bonuses. So it's sort of a walking a fine line, if you understand what I'm saying here. You want to give them the bonuses, so they should be a little bit better. And hey, you know, this isn't chess. They're not two sort of equal players. So taking that into account, I figure resource gain 5%. That just sort of represents better trade, and then also in a way, if say Italy is still neutral, it can trade via sea to Germany or whatever, and you know, just 3% research time reduction. That's just, and now Italy also got this as well, so Italy gets a minor boost to research in that. German and Italian researchers are working together. So you have that nice little pin badge. Now I don't know, I may live with the 6% here or something, I don't know. I didn't think about that as I was getting ready to, because the national focus, because that is based on the national focus, to have it fire. Okay. No, I do really want that. Let's see. And so one free factory, or one available factory. Let's build bombers. Big old bombers. Just really haven't used them much in any of the games. So sort of why I want to build them. Just to do it. Okay, so we're all there. Let's improve reconnaissance. Again, viewers, give me your feedback on any of these things. If you think I'm doing something too big, too weak, because I know we've got it wrong, because we're trying to model reality into a game, and so we're not going to be 100% right. But I don't know whether I'm mostly right or mostly wrong on some of these. Okay, let's see now. We are at June. We want to go for the war now. Oh, so you will now, obviously this has already been researched, but this will happen a lot faster, and you will want to get this early in 1936. You won't want to wait on the anti-Comintern Pact, and it will be a different effect. Now, I think I have a big enough army. Don't know if I have a big enough air force. Okay, we got a bunch of fighters, so let's... One thing I mean, it's, I guess, good for the AI, but don't sort of like about the Polish NF, you know, the Danzig one. is because the war just automatically starts. You don't have a, if you will, a chance to I don't know, wait a few days. You know, you sort of like go to deploy out the submarines and stuff, as I'm thinking about this now once the war starts. And mentioning that, okay, let's see. We have, yeah, those are just the Baltics. So what we will do, let's give them a commander. Sort by skill. Not Donna's, not Reader. Bomb, whatever. Give them, and we're gonna go with let's patrol the Baltic. No leader, let's see. Now, well, let's see. Yeah, merge. Now I'm more Craig Marine, but whatever. Okay, we're gonna put Reader in charge of it. We want to get the submarines out. Create new fleet. All subs. Now let's create new fleet. Convoy. my capital fleet here. This one, we're gonna head way in here, so hopefully we won't get. No, we want to home port them here. So it won't get bombed to hell. And let's get back to the air bases. Oh, cancel. I want them here, I think. No, we haven't maxed it out. It's 1200, not 200. Here we are going to use medium. Bomber squadrons as well. Okay, I think we're going to head down the path to war now. Okay, well, Spain just ended, and of course we've got Memel. Very good. Now, we've got more shipyard space. Now let's go for a battle cruiser there. Who wants to join us? Bulgaria. Okay. Even all those negatives, it still want to join us. Okay, well. I think it's probably Italy that. Now we've got a lot of bonuses. Our relationship with them. I think it was Italy that was influencing them into. And once Italy got in, our faction, Bulgaria wanted to join. Fall in Nanjing. Okay, well, since we are now preparing our war, we should be prepared for it. Okay, everybody there. Select all. Guderian, we'll send him skin select all. Alpha Hoth. We're gonna send him up here. And no, Monstein. There we go. Now the other thing we have to do is be somewhat prepared for naval invasions. Now, are we low on anything in particular? Well, there's a lot of things we don't have lots of, but okay. Got a lot of any tank. Let's see, can we? Don't think so yet. Not going into Spanish Civil War really hurt us. Poor army. Points there. Okay, we're gonna do that. And we're going to produce more anti-tank weapons. I'm figuring we are at a bit of a deficit with those. And let's look at trade. Okay, we're gonna end our trade in oil with Iran. Now we're going to, yeah. And I think we're going to trade with the Soviet Union. Didn't want to. Oh, I just... want that, yeah. There we go. How bad are we doing for equipment here? So you have 0 anti-tank. And we need 2,000. So and let's trade with Sweden for some of their high quality steel. Okay, LZ-30 Graf Zeppelin 2 Sponge. Spawnage? Yeah. Sorry, Germans. I know I'm butchering it. This, and you can read about it there. You know, this is sort of what to do with the Zeppelin. They've been obviously flying it around for propaganda missions or flights or whatever. What they also thought they could do was Germans knew about radar, and the Germans knew that the British were putting in their radar system. They were pretty big towers. They couldn't miss them. I don't know if they knew all the locations or whatever, but I don't know, but they didn't, and I say knew about it, they knew of its existence. They really didn't have a good idea of how effective it was going to be. The idea of range, of can it tell types of aircraft? Can it just tell numbers, or is it just there's a bunch flying in? There's still a lot of questions to be answered about radar. Well, what they decided to do was, since it's a nice big airship up there, they can move along fairly slowly, so it has long duration. And you can also, I don't know exactly how far they did it, but you can attach, some aerials all along the ship to have, really big antenna, if you will. And so what they did, I think they started up here, and they, out in international waters, flew all along, out along the British coast, but out a ways. To, with I think that's just their regular radio outfit on board, but, to try to get measurements of the radar to see, to measure it, to try to figure out what it's doing, to, all kinds of, whether you can spoof it or just collect data, I guess. Well, and I don't know if I go into it here, but I remember reading about it. The captain of the airship, they had a policy of always having the radio on so that they can, receive messages as well as send them, theoretically. Ship in distress, aircraft in distress, I don't know exactly all that they would have, all the reasons they would have had them on, but that was most assuredly part of the thing. Well, having the radio on messed up their recordings. So, and the captain refused when the technicians wanted them off, refused to completely power down the radio so that they weren't able to send or receive, and that gave some electronic interference to the thing. So basically the mission was a failure to do any useful things. Okay, well. Okay. We're moving you. Send you to East Prussia. And I've decided these guys here, we're also going to send up. We're going to use them in. Okay, infantry equipment 2. Now, that is very useful. Just approve the maintenance company. And we currently have a lot of infantry equipment, so we're going to reduce it down by that much and convert it over to 2 and increase anti-tank production correspondingly. And those that we have just got upgraded. Now we need even more oil and more. Tungsten. Yeah. Just don't even want to give any to the Soviet Union, but see, having Netherlands build some factory off of our civilian ICs, that's fine, because we'll, particularly if they're putting it there, we'll eventually take them. Soviets, I don't know where they're building their ICs. East, west. As in how smart they're going to be, I don't know. And it looks like we're going to go to war here. Oh! How interesting. They ceded Danzig. Or did they? There'll be an event popping up here shortly. We could go with a war with France now. But, since we're going down this somewhat ahistorical path, I forgot to do this. Boy, I'm glad we did that, because I needed to do that first. Okay, wow, I messed that up, didn't I? Well, not too bad, but... We'll still get our war. Don't you worry. It'll just be a little different. And let's build one of these, two of those. Well, that's a different thing. Well, that actually makes Poland somewhat easier to defend, I would say. Who wants to join our faction? Poland. No. No, 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 no. We're not going down that road. Maintenance company. That happened fast because we had that bonus. Yep, currently we're just going to keep doing the... Now we have a lot of trucks, a lot of light tanks, some of those. So what we're going to do is train up a couple of more Panzer divisions. Come on, come on. I'm going to start them out over here. Okay, well, we're going to end this episode here. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. Please post comments, questions, suggestions, ideas. Love hearing from you. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.